So I saw this on my recommended, Who Killed Masculinity in Video Games? Now I guess it's time for another, why is modern media woke and gay? That same video that keeps getting recycled like every 2 years it seems like. But will this guy bring any new interesting arguments? Let's find out.
Does anybody else feel like masculinity has slowly been drained from modern video games?
Yes.
I was looking at recent staff photos of Ubisoft and Halo Infinite developers, and it's all starting to make sense. It's a bunch of fat, white, liberal women.
Okay. Bit of a weird complaint to start on, just hating on the fact that women developers exist, I guess. Now, I'm not sure if this guy's joking, but I'll address it seriously. Now, firstly, none of these people are particularly fat. And does being fat even preclude you from making, manly games? Does he think everyone who made God of War is as buff and shredded as Kratos? But also, I doubt that this is a proper representative snapshot of people who work at Ubisoft. I'm sure there are a lot of women developers now, especially compared to the years gone by, but I doubt it's all women, this dominated by pussy. Okay, now I don't know if this is accurate, but here Statista says that about a quarter of Ubisoft devs are women. They don't say anything about their BMI or their political association, but I think we can safely discount they're not all fat liberal women. I already have the feeling that this guy's a troll, but hey, I'll respond sincerely anyway, because clearly people agree with him.
And white liberal women have no interest in masculine, manly, male characters. They wouldn't even know how to write one if they tried.
True.
If you want to see the seismic shift away from masculine characters, honestly, all you need to do is play a few games from 2006, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Consider how many masculine military games came out in the 2000s. All of these games were starring men and had themes like brotherhood, duty, sacrifice, honor. Almost all of these franchises have either been killed off, turned into multiplayer games, or went woke.
Yeah, culture evolves. I can tell you, as someone who grew up with these games, military shooters were so overdone, people were sick of it. Just like in the 80s, the most popular games were cartoony, arcadey type games like Mario, Pac-Man, Zelda. I don't think it's just that game devs were less manly back then. Trends also just come and go naturally.
I often wonder why so few modern games appeal to me, and I think another big reason is this. Everything is just so gay now. Compare the games I just mentioned to the modern trash we have to deal with in Overwatch and Apex. Almost every character in these new games is either gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, or something else.
Now hold on, I'm not gonna take this slander over my main game, okay? There are loads of manly characters in Overwatch. Reinhardt, Roadhog, there's also Doomfist.
And they say chivalry is dead. And they say
Soldier 76. I mean, he's literally the prototypical Call of Duty guy. Oh, wait, they made him gay. Okay, he doesn't count. All right, everyone else, I feel represented by these non-flamboyant straight men, okay?
What happened to a masculine dude with a hot chick on his arm? I love the idea of Xbox Game Pass, but I swear every time I open it up and look for new games, there's just so many games that look gay now. I refuse to play another cutesy 2D platformer or a game with a cutesy art style by some indie developer anymore. I'm just done.
Then don't play them. It's that simple. Bro, you're not taking a brave stance by being I refuse to play. There's loads of other games. Loads of manly games if you want them. Yeah, that looks pretty manly to me, bro. God of War Ragnarok, that came out recently. That's very manly. It's about father and son as well.
get in the boat, boy. Boy. This way, boy.
If you want my 100% real thoughts on this, I just think the entire video game industry has gone woke and gay, and almost nothing they are making appeals to me in any way anymore. So this is why I mostly play 20-year-old games on my channel, because they were just better.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you guys can go try out those games from the 2000s if you want. 99% of you will come away thinking, what the fuck, that was horrible. I'm sorry, they suck. They're virtually unplayable by today's standards. Games have gotten so much better. That nostalgia ain't fooling me, okay?
I also feel like there's this kind of unholy alliance right now between games journalists, white liberal women at game studios, and the LGBTQ community at game studios. And they all seem to be united around one thing. They actually hate gamers.
Oh my god, no way. This dude is unironically spewing 2016 Gamergate copypastas. I started this channel partly because around 2018, 2019, there was this victim outrage fetish that gamers love to self-victimize themselves for some reason. Is that actually coming back now? Oh man, I would hope so. That shit was too funny.
And who are gamers overwhelmingly? Well, heterosexual dudes like us, of course.
Of course, just like us. I don't know how to break this to you, bro, but girls, gay people, maybe they're still a minority, sure, but there's enough of them that, yeah, the market will shift to accommodate it. They spend money too.
This recent Reddit thread was written by an actual game developer and made me realize this. It reads, headline,
Am I allowed to say this? I kind of hate gamers. I'm a professional game designer, and I'm worried that I'm starting to hate gamers. Watching the gaming events on YouTube last month with the chat on was extremely disheartening experience. Every time a character that wasn't a cis-het white man appeared on screen, the chats would fill with messages calling the game woke or complaining about DEI. Every game that wasn't a shooter or a hyper-casual competitive online game garnered zzz and boring comments. I've seen people implying that the MC in Fable trailers is ugly because it's a self-insert of some random level designer working at Playground whom they deemed not fuckable enough. I don't know, it's just the internet magnifying negative voices, I guess, doing what it does best.
It literally is just that. I think this game dev is being overdramatic as well. I think these comments are just like some kids being edgy online.
But it's making me real tired of gamers.
So at this point, it seems that games journalists and all of the liberal LGBT mafia that work at game studios actually hate their audience. And this is a comment I keep reading from you guys again and again. I swear they literally hate us.
Okay, so one game dev said this on a Reddit thread. So I guess that's representative of all game devs and apparently the LGBT mafia or something. I don't know what this guy's cooking. I love this little graphic. We hate game. Yeah, that's what they're chanting at Pride Parade. We're here. We're queer. We hate gamers.
This is why when skanks like Alyssa Mercante are crying about Kotaku shutting down and losing their jobs, and game studios are going under because they were associated with Sweet Baby Inc., I just laugh.
What are you doing, bro? Like, this is schizo rambling.
The wonderful irony in all this is that it's the very games that the woke cancel mob has tried to cancel that seem to do the best. Remember Hogwarts Legacy? Yeah, men who dress in women's clothes tried to get it canceled. Instead, the game sold 25 million copies. Remember Elden Ring? Remember how the woke mob tried to accuse FromSoft games of having, quote, problematic depictions of women?
Hold on. Some people did go schizo over Hogwarts Legacy, but I'll be honest, no, I don't remember a woke mob going after Elden Ring. If you really want to dig, you can find controversy about literally anything. But does that mean there was actually anything there? Not really. And ironically, isn't Hogwarts Legacy one of those gay games that you should be complaining about? If I remember right, it has a trans character. It's not a particularly manly game, and yet you're celebrating its success here. Weird.
Oops, sold 25 million copies. At this point, making an offensive game seems to guarantee that game's success.
Wait, his examples of offensive games that were successful is Hogwarts Legacy and Elden Ring. How were they offensive? Like, the people mad at Hogwarts Legacy weren't even mad at the contents of the game. They were just mad about J.K. Rowling being tangentially involved. And this Elden Ring thing, like, maybe 3 people were mad. And Modern Warfare 2 maybe was kinda offensive to parents, but it was also one of the most hyped games of all time. It was going to sell a bajillion copies no matter what. Yeah, I don't think that counts as offensive games. You know what was not a huge success? The last Duke Nukem game.
What happened to a masculine dude with a hot chick on his arm?
It fucking flopped is what happened.
All of these games pretty much feature exclusively men, and these IPs in the 2000s had so much testosterone just a single glance from a woman in their direction would get her pregnant. I mean, motherfucking Sam Fisher, come on. The dude is the ultimate Giga Chad.
Is this guy gay? I don't want to do this like, oh, everyone who's homophobic is secretly gay trope, but this was maybe the gayest thing I've ever heard.
All of these games pretty much feature exclusively men.
Anyway, moving on.
The first 3 Gears games are an incredible trilogy focusing on the bonds and brotherhood between men. They are incredibly masculine games, focusing on duty and sacrifice and military orders. And I know some of you hate this, but for 10,000 years, it's only been men fighting wars. Sorry.
Oh, damn, he's getting sassy.
Sorry.
But also, he's wrong.
The first 3 games focus on Marcus, Dom, Cole, and Baird and tell a masculine story of brotherhood.
You know what? It isn't even a manly game. There are no men in this game. You play as a fridge with legs. It can't even communicate. It just grunts.
You hear that? My brother!
I played all 3 of these games, and I'll be real, I don't remember anything about the story. Except there were locusts, and one guy was like missing his wife, I think. Yeah, I just think you have a fetish for like bad games with stupid characters that nobody cares about, but they're like buff. The multiplayer was pretty fun though. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know why this video has so many views. These games died for a reason. They're boring, they're not well written. Like, all these franchises didn't shift just to be woke. They did so to keep up with market demands.
I recently saw this crazy chart from 2023 that basically showed that people are only playing old games these days. Nobody wants to play anything that's new out right now because it's all woke and it all sucks so bad.
Do you see the games listed here though? Think about it. What do they have in common? Why are they so successful? It's not that they're manly, it's that they are always online, huge multiplayer behemoths that people have been invested in for years. The only game I regularly play these days is Overwatch. I have a friend who basically only plays League of Legends. That game's 15 years old. There are people who only play Counter-Strike. Yeah, these games that took off in the 2010s and have like huge replayability, especially with multiplayer, battle passes, competitive elements, yeah, they're taking up more and more of people's attention.
If you give us hetero dudes hot chicks in games again and manly men, you will see sales go through the roof.
I don't think flooding the market with more manly games is going to dramatically change anything. Even if they're the best games of all time, but it's only, let's say, like 10 to 12 hours long, and it doesn't have that much replayability, then it has a limited shelf life. That's just the truth. This is why every company is like frothing to get their own version of Fortnite. That's the jackpot. Now, arguably there are issues with that, but you have to like contend with what the actual like underlying problem is. You can't just be like, bro, make more manly games and people will stop playing these other games. Like, come on, that is actually retarded. Okay, I mean, that was a pretty funny watch. I'm not sure if this guy is just a complete troll, like he's just joking, or if he's just like so stupid that he's not so slyly using game analysis as a front to basically push like anti-LGBT shit. Which, if that's like your position, that's fine, but like, why pretend to care about the games at all? Like, I just noticed when he was complaining about Xbox Game Pass and all the gay games, he was showing games like Fallout New Vegas and Need for Speed and Rainbow Six Siege, and he wrote like, anybody else tired of this? And I was like, what? And then I realized, oh, it's like in a transgender category or something, which to be honest, I'm not sure why that's even there, but I'm also not sure why he's mad at it. But yeah, that's it. See ya.